Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I begin, I would just like to say I'm sorry about the lateness of this update, but as you can probably tell from the state of my voice, I've been a little bit under the weather. Let's pray I make it through this update. I will try to keep it a little bit shorter than usual so that my voice holds up, but anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, hi, I'm RoseAnna. I'm a Vedic astrologer talking about planetary transits and new and full moon updates. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe below. And before I begin, I would also like to say I will be talking about the sidereal placements as used in Vedic astrology. And I'm just gonna have a little sip of my honey water before we begin so that my voice will be a little bit smoother. Okay, so last month we had, the biggest shift we had last month was that of the eclipses. So we had both the solar and the lunar eclipse happening last month, and that was a pivotal event, or what's leading up to a pivotal event rather, where we can suddenly begin to realize that we're in the middle of changing directions, or there's something new on the horizon. And the eclipses was the harbinger of this end of a cycle that we will have now this month when the nodes actually change signs. And I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a lot of posts about Rahu Ketu changing signs October 30th, and these are the mean nodes placements, and I'm using the true placements of the nodes, so this is why I'm talking about this transit on November 28th of this month. So this month Rahu and Ketu will finally change signs, bringing on new beginnings and a new change when they move from Aries and Libra, where they are currently on the very last degree, 0.33 degrees I believe there are at somewhere around now. And they will move into, because they always move backwards, so they will move into Pisces and Virgo. And well, this will be an interesting shift, and I'm planning on actually doing also another separate video on that, because there's so much to unpack. But that's one of the most important transits that we will have this month. Another important thing is that Mars will continue to be combust throughout November as well. He will actually be combust all the way until January, if I don't remember incorrectly. So that's quite a while. But what's also important is that during November, Mars will actually transit into his own sign of Scorpio. And this means that the combustness of Mars could be even more intensified, because Mars will transit within his own sign. So Scorpio is Mars, it's his own sign where he is actually stronger than what he has been now in Libra. So there can be some problem with losing our temper. Our fuse might be a little shorter than usual. We might feel closer to irritability or restlessness, or quicker to anger even, if you will. So this is something to keep in mind as well. And the other one other important transit we have this month is Venus, because Venus will move into Virgo, and Virgo is Venus' sign of debilitation. So Venus will be in Virgo for almost the entire month of November. And Virgo is Venus' sign of debilitation, which means that it's the sign where the natural qualities of Venus perform the least, or where they disharmonize the most with the sign they are in. Because Virgo is very concerned with finding faults, finding anything that is out of alignment, or that doesn't match, and seeing all of the itty-bitty minor details in everything. Whereas Venus is very much concerned with, is the planet of our relationships and of love, and the highest expression of Venus is that of devotion, and that's like more the universal love, if you know what I mean, not the interpersonal I want something, so I'm going to give you something, that kind of love, more like the devotional, higher love. That's the highest, the absolute highest quality of Venus, that of devotion. And this is why Venus is exalted in Pisces, because in Pisces, Venus can sort of transcend all the details of the everyday life and just connect with the higher realms, the divine, our spirituality. So this is something to remember as well. So almost during the entire month, Venus will be debilitated, which means that we can become a little bit more nitpicky in our relationships. This means that we are more prone to finding fault within our relationships and being more dissatisfied perhaps with the compromises that we perform or that we stick to every day in our relationships. So we might feel more, dissatisfied with how our partner treats us, or we might feel more neglected, or, could be kind of dramatic as well. But also because Venus or Virgo is like a pragmatic earth sign, it could sort of also put a lid on the romantic side of Venus also, if you will. So it might be a very good time, however, for finding, creative solutions to practical problems, because Venus has this outside the box kind of way of thinking, more creative way of thinking. So when it comes to our work, our finances, our tasks and projects that we have to keep to, or perhaps we've run into a bit of an obstacle in our work. So Venus here could be very good for finding solutions that are a little bit outside the box or a little bit on the creative side, but that might actually bring us more to a different kind of solution. So it could be a really good time for that. Another important transit we will have this month is that Saturn will finally station direct. And so Saturn has been retrograde for almost 5 months now, since the beginning of summer, and will now station direct. So this means that all of those limitations or restrictions or delays and all of those, because Saturn retrograde really calls us to take a step back, reflect, especially when it comes to our commitments and the way we spend our energy, the way we maintain a point of service, or like how we practice being of service. And it could be also related to those projects or those tasks, that type of work that we're really invested in, that we're really dedicated to. And perhaps we've been really frustrated at this time because there's been delays or there's been obstacles, and perhaps we've been struggling with, keeping our energy levels, and we've come to the realization now that we have to let certain things go, and the realization that we can't do it all, because Saturn shows us our limitations, shows us where all of those areas where we've exceeded our personal energy levels, let's say. So if we've had some of those, I believe you have, me as well, have had some of those realizations during these past few months. This is a time where we get to move forward again with new ambition, new determination, because Saturn is really all about determination and discipline. So if we have the stamina, to keep with it, and we've perhaps let go of some of those things that aren't really important, so now we have the stamina to move forward with what is truly important. What is it that lies closest to our hearts? What projects lies closest to our hearts? And stick with those and do that the best we can, to the best of our abilities, because Saturn is really about letting go of anything that is not important, sticking with what really matters and what we're actually truly committed to in our hearts. Because a lot of times we take a lot of commitments upon ourselves that we're not really that committed to, that we just do for, you know, one reason or another, to be nice or to because it seemed like a good idea at the time, or, you know, all of those things, but that we're not really engaged with at our core. So now it's the time to really focus on, get down to the nitty-gritty details and stick with those things that are really important to us. And it could be a good time for, you know, feeling more free, you know, more unrestricted, feeling more, you know, like you're gaining traction with your projects or what you do. So it's a good time, I believe, for all of that as well, now that Saturn will move direct once again. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna leave it at that, and I will say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video despite of my voice, and if you did, please leave a like or a comment or share the video with someone you believe would appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care guys, bye!